Welcome, people. Finally, we're joined by Julie Ako.
Which one is it? Is it Ako?
Ako.
I got it.
Yes.
See, I told
She's
ya.
a writer-director who began her career in 2016 with the award-winning short film trilogy Ajeji Bride Untangled, which she co-wrote and directed. Went on to win the Best Student Film Award at AFRI 2021 and was also nominated for the MTF.
Yeah.
The MTF prize, although graduating with a BSc in computer science. Julie's, well, more interested in unraveling what now? The untapped layers of African storytelling and also advancing the film.
And now that Mazino's given her entire CV on air, we get to meet the amazing Julie Ako.
Good to have you here, Julie.
Thank you.
A bundle of amazingness. Thank you so much for joining us.
I don't want to get started on your dreads because I'm a dread lover.
Oh.
I like people who like dreads.
Point up for me.
So one day you're going to have to dread this hair.
I'm keeping it, so perhaps.
We have a hairstylist that we can get on that just because of this reaction.
Julie.
But I really want to find out, you know, how your mind works. This unraveling of the layers of African storytelling. You have a special word for it.
Yeah.
What is it? What is that word?
Albancho.
Albancho.
Albantu. What is that?
Albancho.
Albancho.
Yeah.
Where is it from? What does it mean?
It's a portmanteau of two African words, Nigerian word for onion and Setswana word for black.
Okay.
It means black onions.
Black onion.
Black onions.
Nice.
So obviously peeling back onions, you know, you said unraveling,
Unraveling the
unwrapping.
different layers of African storytelling.
Oh,
Yes.
why the focus on storytelling? Why the focus on African storytelling?
Because, yeah, for the longest time, we've had to like take the back seat to see and watch others tell our stories for us. So we do know that we have part of our culture. It's natural to, you know, to translate culture through storytelling. It's part of who we are. But we would not say exactly that we have been able to attain perfection in terms of telling it properly, in terms of telling on a global scale where other cultures or other people can benefit from the stories that we're telling. So unraveling means there is so much more that we can do, but there is something there. And that's why. And I strongly believe that technology is one of the easiest ways to, you know, move, you know, your content from one place to another. It's also kind of like a bridge. So we decided what's the best way to show the world what we are telling. It's creating that bridge using technology.
Amazing. So not only are you writing, not only are you creating content, but you're also helping others who want to get their stories out there. I think that's really amazing stuff. And I love the combination of those two words. That's Albancho.
Yes.
So you said Setswana and Yoruba for onion.
Albasa. Yeah. Albasa is Hausa.
Oh, so alubosa is what I know it as in Yoruba.
Albasa is Hausa. Albasa is also my language. I'm from Isako, Edo State.
Wow, onion. Okay, interesting.
Very interesting.
So now we've got loads of stories out there.
Yeah.
Are we actually telling them the right way? It does feel like a lot of negative sides to the African stories are what's being put out there.
Yeah, yeah, it's part of the challenge currently, but there's also a lot of people telling very authentic, very nuanced African stories, but I think the distribution to the mainstream is where it is harder. So we need more of the stories to be consumed by the populace so you get inspired by them and see that your people are actually doing amazing. We've seen it with literature, books. I mean, Chimamanda is out there and she's telling really authentic African stories from our perspective for a global audience and ourselves. So we can do this across board, across all genres. Filmmaking is such a powerful tool, and I strongly believe that a good screenplay, you know, would definitely yield a good film. So it is the foundation.
I've got questions for you regarding your anthology, the one you put together, the short stories and all. But first off, let's see one of these. Let's take a look at one of your work. And then when we get back, I'll be asking you about how your process and everything. Let's check this one out.
Always know the source of information and make sure you can trust it too.
Oh.
Now, see what I meant by why I want to know what process, what thought process you go through when you put together these stories. Now, I would never have seen that kind of a scene and it had that kind of a voiceover put together. They're two very separate type of, you know, and they pass very unique informations.
Yeah.
But you were able to put it together. It came together like a sandwich.
Thank you.
And it works well to pass that information. One, that you are passing information that you have to filter first. And two, if you're going to be drinking water,
you have to know the source.
don't take it out of a
You have
stream.
to
Somebody
know the
just,
source.
Yeah, know your source, please. That's very interesting. How do you put together these images and thoughts?
Well, first, one of the things that I thought in filmmaking is that it's a visual medium. So you want to be able to, apart from tell your stories, you want it to have a lasting imagery. And I feel like before I tell stories, I want to find, you know, that imagery that conveys the message, some sort of like a metaphor or the theme, the driving theme for the story. So when I thought about misinformation, I sift through different ideas that represents, you know, in terms of visually. Because it's vague when you say misinformation. And a lot of people in the village...
Exactly.
It's a big word.
You also got an award for that piece, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, it was
recognition,
for it was for the United States horse campaign.
Okay.
So we had to pitch our ideas, and a couple of us were selected across Africa. I think mine was the one from West Africa.
Nice.
Amazing.
Compelling.
And I don't think I'm ever going to forget that image right now.
Nope. Especially the very first scene was like, yeah, let's introduce you to this slap. Ouch. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's touch on something a little closer to home. Bride Untangled.
Okay.
You want to tell us a little bit about that particular story and how that came about?
Yeah, so I was a student of Multi-Choice Talent Factory 2020, and part of our closing out project was to create a feature film, but we couldn't do that because of COVID. So we decided to do short films.
Okay.
And then we had like group sessions where we brainstormed, and we had different people come up with story ideas. So we had this story from one of the team members. Basically, we're talking about the different other cultures about in Nigeria that hasn't been explored yet. And when it came into on the table, we said, okay, we didn't want it to be one particular culture. How can we make a mismatch of everything? So you could see that the bride is from the eastern or the southern side, but you can't particularly say where, you know, and then you know that the groom is from the west, but you can't exactly say where. So it's a collision of cultures and what can result out of like misunderstanding. Okay. And then when you have those misunderstandings, sometimes you think that you are on the right, but it's just a matter of perspective. Wow. And that was what we were trying to do with the story.
Akko, I wish that your mind was a place I could visit, because I would like to dive into your waters of talent and bathing it.
Oh, gosh.
Please tell me where the address is. I would like to come. In any case, it was fantastic having you and experiencing you in person here, and also your work. Fantastic
and
stuff.
Good luck with Alban Show. I love the name. I love the way your mind works with that.
Thank you.
And yeah, there's finally like a ride-hailing app for screenwriters.
Ah, interesting. That's exactly what it is.
It is.
Yes.